Hello, welcome back to my channel. We are talking all about some Disney cruise news and some speculation, and we'll have a little intermission in between. So first, you've probably heard that Disney Cruise has delayed the adventure ship from not just the inaugural sailing, but the first 3 months. And if you're thinking, wait a minute, didn't this happen before? Yes, it did. Yes, it did with the Wish. And I kind of like, if you want to read about like how Disney is going to compensate those individuals on board, you can go do that. But I want to spend some time on some speculation here. Which first is, I'm not much of a betting person, but now I may be starting to book these inaugural sailings or the sailing right after because they keep getting canceled. And now that, 2 out of the last 3 ships have had their inaugural sailings bumped, might be something worth doing because Disney is giving, they're rebooking, they're refunding all these individuals, and they're giving them 50% off the next cruise. So, might be time for people like me to start playing the game. So, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about jumping into that game because that's a great deal. Because if you haven't booked everything else, so maybe that's the thing is like, don't book everything until it's like 3 months out and you know it's going to happen. But I will say that even though the Wish was delayed, those first many sailings were not complete. The ship was really not ready when it made its debut, and that I think is disappointing. And so I don't know if I am only going to do it one time. Like if I'm only going to go on the ship once, I don't know if I want to be on a ship that's not ready. So just something to know for folks. I think the gamble though might be a fun little gamble to play. Now, we also saw this with Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. That was not quite ready when folks arrived. And for destinations, like if Disney ever has another private island, I don't know if I want to be the first people on anything or even a ride. Like I'm just not the one that wants to deal with like the not so final product because people just end up complaining about it, and I want to just experience it for what it was meant to be and get to enjoy the experience fully. So, yeah, just something I've been thinking about. Intermission. Thanks so much for all the feedback in regards to gratuities and tipping. I did create a video on that, but more importantly, I created a guide that is totally free for you. If you want to check it out, it is linked below, and it's also linked in the video that I'll also link up here. But yeah, I had no idea that tipping was this convoluted, so variable. I did so much research on the topic and talked to so many people and read a lot of information, and y'all, the results were just wild. The scale in which like you leave very little to leaving a lot, it was all over the board, and I put it all together in a little guide for you right here. So go check that out if you're interested. Okay, back to the video. Now, the Adventure isn't the only ship that's coming out quite soon this year. We also have the Destiny, which I will be sailing on in December. So I'm not on like the inaugural sailing, but I will be on one of the first few, and I'm really excited about it. But something interesting about the Destiny that we have recently heard about is the Cask Cannon bar that is going to be themed after Pirates of the Caribbean. What's interesting about this Cask Cannon bar is the what people aren't calling, but it is totally the sister bar at Disney World called Beak and Barrel. Do you hear it? Cask and Cannon, Beak and Barrel. I mean, what are they going to do? Come up with like another one that'll start with the letter D? I don't know. But I think it is interesting because you have all these folks kind of showing what the Beak and Barrel is like at Walt Disney World, and it almost feels like, not that they're giving it away, but it's like the trial run for the Cask and Cannon. So it'll be interesting to see, like, are they going to have the same drinks? Which I don't think they do, but are they going to do a lot of the same theming? Like, is it going to be very similar because we have, like the Skipper's Lounge is kind of equivalent to Trader Sam's. Are we going to see more bars in Walt Disney World mirror the bars that are going to be on the ships? Like, will there be a Haunted Mansion bar coming to Walt Disney World? I don't know. I'm just kind of like thinking like, could this be starting a trend? I don't know. Curious what your thoughts are. Leave a comment below. What do you think? And finally, on our final set of news for the evening, we have something that not many people are talking about that I think we need to chat about because it was something that I experienced on a recent cruise, which is that Disney is going away from single use products, specifically like the single use, I don't know, like cereal boxes and the cartons of milk. And while I totally on board, great idea, go environment, all in. Yes. It is an interesting move because of the reality of shore excursions and snacks and the fact that you cannot bring like just anything off the ship. Technically, you're not supposed to bring random stuff off the ship. I know a lot of people will do it, but technically, you're not supposed to be like putting churro waffles in your bag to take off the ship. So, what do? Well, you need to bring your own snacks. And when Disney says they need to be prepackaged, unopened, what they mean is something like this. This is one of our family's favorite snacks. This is kind of new. I hadn't seen them in stores recently. There's not affiliate link. I'm just kind of demonstrating what they mean by prepackaged, unopened snacks. Prepackaged, unopened, factory sealed snacks. So you can bring this type of snack with you on a ship, but you cannot bring it if it was open. So example, if you bring like Skittles, you need to bring like the little packs of Skittles, or just don't open the whole bag of Skittles until you get on the ship, right? So you can bring like snack size or like the family packs that come in individual packaging and like, bring them on the ship. But if you bring like a whole bag of something, you cannot have it open. It needs to be factory sealed to come on the ship. And same with like if you're taking something off the ship, it needs to be factory sealed. Now, do they really check that? I haven't noticed them really cracking down like when you're getting off the ship, but we have had situations. My sister actually got something confiscated when we were getting on the ship, maybe last year. So it does happen. So it's just something to know. Now, I am intrigued to see like will they have more snack options available to purchase, which I know they do have some in the sweets shop, but I don't think every ship has one of those. So I will be interested to see, like at least on the Magic and the Wonder, if there will be snacks available for purchase in some other areas so that when you are getting off the ship, if you have little kids, that you can buy snacks in case you forget to bring them. But I guess all that to say, pack snacks if you've got little kids or if you've got food allergies or any other reasons why, if you're getting off the ship and going on an excursion, if they do not have food available, especially if you're going like on a remote kind of excursion where there's not shops that you can stop in, just definitely pack some prepackaged snacks. So those are the 3 news items I wanted to cover quickly. I know this is a short video. I hope it was helpful. I'm very curious about your speculations below. What do you think? Like, are you someone that would gamble on a ship just to see if you can get, a discount in the future? Or do you like being on a ship that's not finished? So curious. Oh, and let me know what you think about the Cask Cannon and Beacon Barrel saga. I don't know what more could be coming. I'm really excited about it. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.